welcome to Sunday's video. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. I'm going to go through a few memes and look at a few different things all in one video rather than just talk about one thing. So let's get on with that. First of all, you may have missed this because this got deleted from X, but I'm going to put it here. Well, I'm going to put a little bit of it here. You could probably search it and maybe find it on X, but the Toronto mayor welcoming some refugees into Toronto. Let's have a little listen to a snippet of this conversation that she had.
Welcome to Toronto. It is so wonderful to have you arriving to our great city. Assalamu alaikum. It's so wonderful to see children, and I hope they will have a wonderful summer because there are a lot of activities in the city while opening our arms and welcoming them.
Yeah, well, when I arrived in Canada about 20 years ago, I didn't get anyone calling me up at the airport and saying, "Welcome, Paul. Here's a nice hotel for you, and here's some money, and you enjoy everything that we've got to offer." No, nobody did that for me. Anyway, let's move on. Mark Carney says that Canada will recognise a Palestinian state in September if the West Bank's governing body meets certain conditions. He's done this all wrong. He has. So he's done this wrong. What he should have said is, we need Palestinian people and Hamas to actually release the hostages, give them all back before we even start discussion on recognizing you as a state. Recognizing anything over there as a state, it's a tricky situation, isn't it? And Trump said that. Trump says Canada backing statehood for Palestine makes it very hard to negotiate US trade deal. And as we know, that's what's been going on. So, where do we go from there? Eh? Where do we go from there? Trump put on one of his posts, "Wow, Canada has just announced that it's backing statehood for Palestine. That will make it very hard for us to make a trade deal with them. Oh, Canada." Yeah, and then I found this picture. I think everyone's seen this picture with the MAC. We'll just call them the MAC, shall we? Just for algorithm purposes. CNE reports a record number of registrations for annual job fair amid rising youth unemployment rate. 55,000 people applied for 5,000 jobs at the CNE. If you don't know what the CNE is, it's a 2-week fair that happens in Toronto, downtown, near the harbour there. Yeah, 55,000 people applied for 5,000 jobs. That is crazy. Trudeau's reckless spending has been replaced with Mark Carney's reckless spending, even more recklessly. Look at that! Look at the numbers there, guys. 566 billion estimated by 28-29, whereas Trudeau's plan was 547.8 billion. Yeah, reckless spending. It's on the up. It's on the up. Hello, Mom. I know you have a perfect driving record, but we're here to confiscate your car because a drunk driver that you don't even know killed 10 people on the interstate. Yeah, they're still pushing the gun laws. Yeah, that sort of explains what their mindset is on the gun law, don't you think? And I saw this as well, I thought this was pretty funny. All staff, please ensure that copies of My Daddy is a Giant are not placed at the front of the book box. Thanks. And that was, that tickled me, that one. And we'll, we got some more. In nature, poisonous creatures will often develop bright colours that warn off their toxicity. You must have all seen that one before. That is super funny. We've got a couple of more Carney ones here. Even the EU scored a deal with the US. Only Canada has incompetent leadership unable to negotiate a deal. Elbows up, comrades. Elbows up, comrades. 99% of Canadians earning less than $60,000 a year rely on gas-powered vehicles. True, possibly. Ganning, banning gas and diesel cars punishes the 99% who can't afford the switch. Yeah, so let's have a listen to what Polyev said on gas cars in Alberta and in the debate that he had, and then let's move on to your comments straight after.
Reversing that EV mandate to allow you to drive your truck, that is a local issue. And it will take national leadership to overturn it the way I overturned the carbon tax. Your right to protect and keep your firearms, that is a local issue if you're a hunter in Empress or Trochu or Consort. Cutting taxes, or for example, letting our farmers have zero capital gains when they reinvest the proceeds in our communities, that is a local issue. Reforming our prisons so that our guards down in Drumheller are safe, that's a local issue, but it requires national leadership. Fighting against the Chinese tariffs on our canola, that is a local issue.
Hope you enjoyed that new sort of way of doing things. I thought it was good. Incorporates a little bit more interesting, a few different things, not just listening to me waffling as much as I waffle when I waffle. Do I waffle? Am I a waffler? Is this waffling? I'm a waffling now. Don't forget to check your subscribes because YouTube's they even unsubscribed me to like a gadget channel that I watch. So that it's not just, I don't think it's just these channels. It's all channels that YouTube are messing around with, and I think what they're doing, I said it before, I think what they want to do is get people to watch TikTok rather than, longer videos like these. Anyway, let's go into something that we can all agree with. Not the man for the job. Turns out Carney was not the person to fix this. He's not the person to fix Canada, is he? Lynn said,
"So much for Carney being a master negotiator. He's such a poser."
"But you say what you really think." Dougie said,
"Oh, he was the perfect man for the job. Has anyone missed what's happened now? It has to get pretty dark to reach the willfully blind."
You know what? It really does. I think, how bad does Canada have to get to reach Liberals and make them actually become aware of how bad things how bad things have become? Ariel said,
"Well, it depends what job. To save Canada? Not in any way. Is he? To destroy? 100%.
Yeah, he's building on what Trudeau started, really, isn't it? JK said,
"Well, but, he claimed that he was the big-time banker, even though the former Prime Minister of England said he was like the worst experience that England had ever had in finances."
Yeah, I think he helped to destroy England a little bit on the financial side, but nobody's going to admit to that. Everybody just says it was Liz Truss, it was all her, but yeah, there's two arguments to that story, to be honest. Tom said,
"This Canadian agrees 100%. Get the WEF Carney Liberals out."
He's 100%, he's one of their main speakers, you know that, don't you? Raina said,
"I don't know about everybody else, but I'm so sick and tired of listening to Carney. Makes me want to vomit." I watched the debate the other night, and Liberal candidate was a joke at best. Pierre looked like he wanted to break out in laughter when this guy said he liked Carney's work so far with the tariffs. Huh? The man sounded like a moron.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was terrible. Imagine being so gaslit that's what you're going to say. Carney's been great with the tariffs. How? Who am I today?
Carney can't work his way out of a brown paper bag.
Has to be brown, does it? You have to be racist into it, do you? Can't be a white paper bag, can it? Wes said,
"He spoke many words and said nothing."
Yes, he does. He's absolutely bonkers lunatic. Cheshire Cat said,
"But don't he say in an interview that he was a good negotiator and he was the right man to deal with Trump? That's the nearest I could get to elbows up. Such a lying toe rag."
How many times were we saying, oh yeah, the Liberal voters were saying, I couldn't imagine Poilievre sat across from Trudeau negotiating. This guy's just absolutely, totally blown everything. Everything is definitely not the guy for the job, that's for sure. Definitely not the guy that we all thought that the Liberals thought he was. I think all the Conservatives knew he wasn't the man for the job, especially when we found out about him switching his business into the USA. It definitely tells you that somebody doesn't want to invest in Canada, doesn't it? Frank says,
8 billion of Canadians knew he wasn't the guy for the job.
see, exactly. Neil said,
Massive layoffs are coming. Kiss your house goodbye. You will own nothing and be happy.
that's something I'm noticing a lot now. Just have a look around your neighborhoods when you're driving around, guys. How many houses have suddenly gone up for sale? I think it's like the 5-year renew your mortgage thing after the 0% mortgages. And yeah, people are struggling. People have borrowed right up to where they can't borrow anymore. David said,
It's getting to the point that it's embarrassing to admit I'm Canadian.
that I read that and I thought, imagine how I feel. I'm Canadian and British. Like the worst of both worlds. Oh my gosh. Andy said,
He never was the man for the job. Elbows up, pants down, Carney Liberal clown show.
Nelson said,
Elbows up, what a joke, and the media ran with that.
they did. They pushed the carnival, Carney, all over terrible. Les says,
I love your shirt.
yeah, my son was making them, and people just don't have the money. I don't think there was no one buying, so he shut that down, and he doesn't have a side business anymore, unfortunately. That's just the way that Canada's going, isn't it? It's very difficult to do anything of any sort. G Hog said,
What do you expect? All his investments are in the USA.
yeah, that's exactly what we said. Anyway, I'm going to finish on that, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, check them subscriptions.